Okay, so I'm back. I had took a nap. As soon as I got in the house, I was out. Man, I was out. I had some good sleep. Good sleep. And I'm just now waking up. So I'm probably going to be up for the rest of the night. But I was going to pick up off of the video that I made about um, the no need to go back to the church building. I know that can offend some people because some people really love their church home, which is fine. I'm not in any way trying to persuade anybody on the decision they should make. I had to experience that because as a former first lady, as a former pastor's wife, I had been swirling around like, why am I not interested in church anymore? And it wasn't the church hurt because it was there, but it was more so that that assignment, that time in my life has come to an end. I don't need that experience anymore to be spoken to. And I was like, am I rebel? Like, am I rebelling? Because he say, come unto me, all y'all who are laboring and who are heavy laden. And I feel like I've been laboring. It's heavy on me. But I also looked at an example of when our bishop, our Episcopal pastor of the church had died. And I noticed that the first lady, she had been in the church like 30, 40 years. She immediately, when I say immediately, she immediately stopped coming to church. We didn't see that woman at all after the funeral. She didn't get to speak. She didn't do any of that thing. And I was like, why would she do such a thing? And also, the Episcopal pastor's wife told me straight up, clearly, bluntly, if my husband died, I would leave the next day. So, as I was sitting there, and as I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, so what is it? Is this trying to rile up in me? And immediately my soul was like, you are not about to sit in guilt. You are not about to sit in shame. I have brought you this far for a reason and for a season and for such a time as this, because everyone does not get the gospel in the church building. And for me to have that revelation and understanding, like, oh, I can see what they were talking about. I never judged them for it, but I saw what they meant. I see what they mean. When you are called to serve in the church at such a high level, as such as a pastor's wife, as I did, I got all of the information, all of the spiritual teaching that I needed. So now it's time for me to go out and spread that. But it's not going to look like the traditional way, y'all. I am trying to tell you, even my love life is not the traditional way. And I don't take any guilt or shame in loving this person the way that I love this person. I also look at like, I went there for a reason. I got somewhere, and I'm trying to put it up on the screen, but it was saying that reconciliation and another word that he used are not the same, because he was in Luke talking about how the two sons, one had went away and did his thing. He was out, clubbing and vibing with the world, and he came back home. But that didn't mean for me that I needed to run back to the church. Home for me is within. You know, the Stephanie Mills home. She talk about when I see a place and something she say. But when I hear that song, yeah, I immediately have an internal force that turns on enemy. So I was kind of like going out into the world fishing. To me, it's like my life right now is like an adventure. I see numbers. Numbers speak to me like all the time. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I look at a number and I'm like, okay, what are you trying to say to me? Why do I keep seeing 222, 333, 444, 1111, constantly, like more than 20 times a day? So it was starting to irritate me and bug me. And I was like, okay, I just stopped and I said, what are you trying to say? And what was spoken to me was, you were trying to seek outside of yourself. And I'm constantly reminding you, I don't want you to seek outside of yourself. I want you to internally ground that masculine and that feminine energy, which we call, I think in the church, it's like we go to worship a person and their traits, when that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know. I'm not scholar on the subject, but you can find places out there that can verify what I'm saying. But also, I'm not judging anybody to go to church, because I'll show up to church and I'll worship, I will praise. But as I was sitting there, it just wasn't edifying for me, and I was like, am I being wrong? And then I answered my own question, because afterwards I was knocked out. But y'all, this awakening that I'm going through is quite different. It's not an awakening where I feel pity, where I feel guilt, where I feel shame, where I feel like I need to reach out, where I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I know that I'm doing something right, and I'm on the right path, because the peace that I have is, I want my children to be blessed with this peace. I did send a prayer up for my daughter, because I miss my baby. I really do. I really, really do. But I also understand that she has to go and grow through what she's going through. But yeah, that's my experience with going to church. As a former first lady, spent 20 plus years in the church. And if this message hits you, let me know what your thoughts are about attending church. Is it necessary? Is it only the place that you go to get the awakening, to hear from the Spirit of God or the Spirit of the universe, however you may identify with it? Because what we have to realize is that there is a new earth, but there's nothing new under the sun. But there is a new way that Source, God, universe is speaking to us. We are all being awakened on some level, and it's interesting, y'all. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. And like I said before, I know that I'm on a journey. It, I know that I'm on a journey, and that journey involves me awakening through a love. Like somebody came to remind me that I am love, and I'm so very grateful for it. Man, I'm grateful. As much as it stings for me to be apart from this person, it also is a reminder that I can go back home and I don't have to run to anybody, to any institution. I wake up in the midnight hour, I get down on my knees and I give thanks. So the pushing me to praise and to touch somebody and tell them, and to, I need the praise section over here, and it was just a lot of like, it was entertaining, and I like the entertainment of it. So I'm not saying that I won't go back, but I'm just sharing my experience. I'm a former first lady, a former pastor's wife, who is not in church anymore, but I know the Lord. I know He's with me. I know it clear as the day, as I look out and I breathe the air. So, all right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Made it manifest with every lesson learned. I'm walking, I'm learning, and I'm growing, and I'm grateful.